certainly in the last few years, we've seen more AI companies and more AI-related positions. I think which is very good for our students because it seems like you have more work opportunities in this area.
Let's hear from the experts about how artificial intelligence is transforming the world of business. I'm Katie Gaertner, and this is Unsupervised.
Hey, Business Badgers. Today, I'm sitting with Qinglai He, an information systems professor here at the Wisconsin School of Business. Qinglai has a PhD in information systems from Arizona State University, and her research explores machine-human collaboration in content moderation. So, Qinglai, let's talk about information systems and AI.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. So my first question for you is, what even is information systems and why is it a major in the business school?
Well, in general, people think that information system is kind of like the major. We learn how to apply and develop the information technologies in the organization context. Before I started my PhD, I actually didn't know what is information system. But at that time, when I was in the undergrad, my major was in computer science. In the meantime, I was doing some minors in finance because I tried to find kind of like the middle area, which can let me learn both the business and computer science. And later, after I find this major, I find that, wow, this is the perfect spot for me to learn both the business knowledge and also more keep up with the new technology. So I will say information system is more like an interdiscipline. We learn technology, but in the meantime, we know how to apply this knowledge in the business context.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. That's a great explanation. Thank you for that. So now that we know what information systems is as a discipline, how is AI being used in information systems?
There are, I will say, multiple ways you can see the AI's roles in the information system major. So for example, I'm teaching the undergrad digital platform analytics class. In that class, we learn AI as a method and as a kind of like a technique you learn to help you analyze the data. But in the meantime, in the business school here, another my colleague, Yash, he's teaching the digital strategy class. So in that class, he talked about AI as an application, especially connected with more like digital platform, how the AI create more kind of like the opportunities for the new business and how that changed the business model, business strategy. So we kind of like learn AI as a tool, as a method to help us analyze the data. In the meantime, we also learn AI as a topic to learn about the new technologies, new applications in the field.
Okay. Yeah. So what are some of the transformative AI developments you've observed in information systems that you're really excited about?
Yes, I will say for me, definitely is large language models.
Okay.
Or everybody probably is more familiar with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I think that's a kind of big change. And a lot of people say that could be the force, the revolutions we're going to see. There are many ways how the ChatGPT and large language models going to change how we analyze the data. I remember last year when I was teaching the text mining course for the MSBA program, and one of the students in my class, he was not from the technical background. Earlier, I think his major is more like a communication, but he was sitting in my class because he wanted to learn something about text mining. But he really didn't know how to do that before. And he just showed me, how do I do the analysis? He literally just throw the data into the question to ChatGPT. And the ChatGPT can just produce what is the answer for those questions. Well, generate some very nice results and the outputs based on the data and the question he provides. So I was very impressed by how advanced and how smart, how intelligent those large language models are at this moment. Yeah, I think probably beside the data analysis, and some of the students was telling me that, well, probably right now, we don't have to learn programming languages from the scratch, because once we have the ChatGPT, we can let the ChatGPT to write the code for us. So I will say that's probably the other angle, how the large language model may shape the whole field. Like we still need to, I think we still, as a major, we still need to teach the student how to do the programming because, like the language model is not correct all the time.
Yeah.
So you really need to know the basics and the foundation. But of course, once you have those tools, it will significantly increase your productivity, even like lower the entries for the student.
Yeah.
So that they can easily pick up those like advanced skill to help them with their work and the task. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like even, like once you lay the groundwork of understanding the foundations of a programming language, then you can accelerate much more quickly with the support of these large language models.
Yeah, of course.
But they still need to understand the basics so that they can sniff out those hallucinations or mistakes that might come up in the models. That's your advice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question is, can you share with me some examples of how AI is changing the way companies compete in information systems and information technology, and then how they're adapting their traditional business models to this new landscape?
Yeah. So I think that's a really good question. And certainly in the last few years, we've seen more AI companies and more AI-related positions. I think which is very good for our students because it seems like you have more work opportunities in this area. And then I think the company kind of like trying to adapt to the AI changes in a little bit different way. For example, for some traditional company, they may probably some of the easy task they try to incorporate is they can add more help with their customer services. So for example, one of my colleagues was telling me he saw some company like help you with your tax return. Instead of asking you to fill out the forms, many forms, maybe they can just totally convert everything into the chat format. So you're going to work with a chatbot, which can help you fill out everything you might need. So and probably beside that, if you kind of like work with more, for example, right now, if you just go to many websites, you probably notice many websites has their own AI assistant. I think ChatGPT make it easier and more kind of like make the chatbots more intelligent to reply to the customer's request. So I will say probably this is just kind of like one easy and kind of like the augmentation we've seen for the traditional business. But in the meantime, I also saw that there are totally some new AI startup. For example, the AI startup in different domain like the educations and the like healthcare. They also literally like leverage the new like large language models to build their kind of like new products. For example, the AI tutor. Instead of going to some like find some personal tutor, because like large language model it trains on more kind of like general data and the knowledge. So if you want to apply to some specific domain, you still need a fine tuning to make it the answer more accurate to that specific domain. So they kind of like just did that work to make the AI more helpful to help with customer specific needs. So that's kind of like another thing that I observed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fine-tuning, they take that foundation that ChatGPT or Claude or one of these other large language models already exists.
Yeah.
And they give it some more specialized training to be an expert in healthcare or cosmetics or
or whatever it is. Huh? Yeah, exactly. Like one of my students working for a company right now, that company is more like a LinkedIn. They have a lot of job posting data. And their task basically is, okay, we can provide those information to some customer. But in the meantime, we can also provide additional services like, okay, we can help you evaluate your resume and improve your resume. So they have a large amount of the data. They can train their own models. Plus, they also have the human expert to, besides kind of like all the automations the AI can make, and the human expert can also add more kind of like additional opinions to really make sure that, okay, the output is satisfactory, is good enough for their customers. So
Oh, that's really exciting. It's exciting to think of all these different ways that things are moving.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
And probably like one thing that I experienced the most is I use that to, earlier I might find some professional, like the expert to help me proofread my papers. But right now, I think AI can do that very well. Even like the traditional kind of online platform like Grammarly, I think with the large language model, it significantly improved their performance.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really interesting application. I'm sure one of our students are happy to hear about. Proofreading is a nice service.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you see job roles specifically in information systems evolving as AI becomes a more prevalent tool?
Okay. Most of the students, after they graduated with the bachelor degrees, most of them take the position like a data analyst or do some like IT consulting.
Okay.
And when I talk to my student, I figured that most of the skill emphasized by those positions are kind of like a SQL and also some kind of like data visualization tool like a Tableau and Power BI.
Okay.
And I heard that from my student, and those skill and knowledge are still heavily emphasized by the position, even though like we've seen some changes in the tech world, but those skills are still quite emphasized by the position and company. But in the meantime, if the students plan to pursue the different route, for example, if their role is more like a development in the company, and my student was telling me that in recent years they observe the more position emphasizing the skill to train the AI models or to develop the AI models, because companies want to have that component in their business to also make them stay competitive in the competitions. But I think not only about that, there are also some kind of like the new skill emphasized by the company right now. So even though most of the time it's not specifically mentioned in the job description, but it can be a hidden skill. Once you have that, it will significantly help with your work. The skill like the prompt engineering. So for example, my student was telling me, you still need to code when you do some data analysis. But if you know, okay, what are the new tools you can use? For example, the Google has the Google Gemini, and also many platforms have their Copilot. Basically, those can, instead of just typing everything, every single line of the code, but you can just simply type a prompt. It will automatically generate many codes for you. So my student was telling me, it will, if you know that, it will significantly improve your productivity and make your work more efficient.
Yeah.
So even though, they not specifically mentioned, but those are kind of like your increasingly more important skill. Yeah.
So the traditional skills of like Tableau and dashboarding, Power BI, SQL, which is a programming language for our students who are just joining the business school.
Yeah.
But then also it sounds like there's this need for AI literacy to understand the AI and maybe even be able to like contribute to training these models and supporting them. And then there's this other skill, which is communicating with you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, that's a very nice way to summarize. Yeah, that yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really helpful, and that's some great information. Okay. So we're gonna wrap up with a fun question.
Yeah, sure.
If you could turn over one responsibility or task to AI or robotics in your life that you wouldn't have to do anymore, what bot would you invent?
Okay. Well, actually, I think I have two.
Okay.
Yeah, I can really delegate some of my responsibility to AIs or like robots. One is cooking.
Yeah.
It would be great if there is a robot. I can basically order anything and the robots can help me cook that. I think that would be perfect.
Yes.
And the second robot that I want is the robots which can help me like figure out, okay, what I gonna wear
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, an outfit planner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could put in the clothes that you have,
Yeah.
and then it could put outfits together for you.
Yeah, probably also depends on if I can just give them the schedule, like, okay, today I'm going to have a important meeting, or today I have some casual activity. Yeah, maybe like based on my schedule, it can kind of like recommend, okay, what are the outfits you can consider to wear today?
I could even like connect to the weather.
Oh, yeah. Many factors.
This is $1 million idea, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Qinglai, thank you so much for spending time with me and talking with me. I learned a lot about information systems and AI, and I appreciate the time that you spent teaching me and my students about it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Katie. Yeah.
Unsupervised is brought to you by the Wisconsin School of Business. It's written and hosted by Katie Gaertner, with sound editing and production by Derek Schneider and Billy Kardaj.